What's up, homies? Mike here, making a video today, and today is National Best Friends Day. And I was showing my two best friends, Jalen Arrington, my Black King, and Christoph Barrett, my Asian King. And if you want to know what Christoph is, or Chris, I'm gonna call him Chris for the rest of the video. That's what I usually call him. He's half Filipino and half Japanese. So do what you with that information. Let's get on with the video. Okay, so we're gonna talk about Jalen and Chris, how we met. First, I talk about how I met them individually. We'll start with Jalen since I met him first. I moved to North Carolina around 2017, 5th grade, right? So I didn't know Jalen really. We knew because we're like different classes. Like, oh, it's that guy, right? But we actually become actual friends until not 27, but like 6th grade, right? Because I moved to his neighborhood. At the time, I was staying with my uncle, and then my mom found a place for herself. It was like, bam, it's been friends ever since. Hanging out in and outside of school, and yeah. And we have Chris. I met him 8th grade, which is crazy to me because I did not know we shared the same homeroom. But I don't know how we became friends. I just know like we were just chilling. We was like locked out together in 6th grade. Not 6th grade, but 8th grade. But so yeah, that's basically how I met them. Of course, I gotta tell how it came together. Now, obviously, we've been friends with each other. After the whole pandemic. But we actually started become actual best friends until the summer of 2023, around August. It was so random. So this happened prior, like I think exactly a week prior to actually do the activity. So basically, I was just chilling, right? And Chris was like, "Yo, Mikey, you wanna hang out with the part with me?" Jalen was like, "Yeah, sure, right?" He said, "Exactly next week, bam." And I don't know what day in August this was. Probably I think August 9th. I'm not sure, but that doesn't matter. So yeah, hung out with each other. Just being good vibes in general, right? And then after that, ice cream, and then I got free Mexican food, but that's another story for itself. But yeah, we've been like that ever since, And then we start hanging out a lot more often now, because of that. So yeah, I just want to say that's the origin story of how we all met, and pretty good origin story, I would say myself. Now, I want to be like a little more personal with this because this is unscripted, this is pure talking about my thoughts. So yeah, these two, man, like we was always good friends, but then it came together, again. But I just want to say that I really appreciate these guys in my life because not only were they the first 2 subscribers, Chris was the first and Jalen was the second back in 2021. It's just crazy to think that like who knew that my best friends would be subscribed to my channel first, unknowingly. I had no idea. I didn't plan on, like, honestly, I didn't think I have a best friend. He's actually my 2 besties, But yeah, who knew that my 2 best friends would subscribe to my YouTube channel? I really appreciate them for that, It is crazy to think that they still subscribe and actually comment and like my videos, They were the ones who saw me post those Among Us videos, those tier lists, just yapping, those vlogs. They're all there. They were there for the beginning. They're there, in a way, they're OGs, I consider them OGs. They're OGs, so yeah. Not only just subscribing, just being comfortable with each other, of course, friends. Let's be real, guys. We all have a bias to the scent, You rather hang with these certain people more than others, which is fine. But there's a reason why they call it the best friend for a reason, and these guys are just not like that. All I can say, I'd say we more like help and motivate each other to do a lot of things, Like it's mainly just me just venting my frustration, the problems, and of course, I'm not saying they don't have those, but like it's just mainly just me, and I really like the fact that like they like hear me yell, like, okay, bro, y'all remember the one time, y'all remember the video how I think I'm in love, right? Like I'm not joking to y'all. I think I said this in the other video, but I'm not joking to y'all. Like I legit sent them like almost 13-minute long voice message, and basically Chris was like, do you love her? Are you in love with her? And then I sent like not joking, like a 13-minute long voice message to them, telling them why, right? And then keep in mind, it was like around like 3 in the morning. Like no, I don't know, cause Chris asked me that like later, not later, but earlier in the day, and like I didn't respond to that. I was like, I'll respond to it later, and bam, that 13-minute long one came up, you know. So yeah, it's kind of crazy to me, you know. And of course, I can't forget that Jalen, you know. I think he supports my I feel like, I don't know. We're all delusional too at the same time. Me and Chris is just like the delusional ones, and then Jalen's like, nah, bro. But sometimes it's me and Jalen delusional. Chris is like, nah. Like we just bounce off each other, you know. Like I like we're just like that for real. I don't know what to say, right? Not only did they support my dreams, they like celebrate the most little things. I could be like, hey, this certain girl said she want to hang out. It's like, oh yeah, let's go. And then Chris can send like a picture as a girl. It's like, yeah, let's go, bro. Then Jalen can send like a picture of his girl. It's like, yeah, let's go. And by the way, I am the only odd man out. I am the only single one in the group chat, you know, out of the 3, you know. But hey, I was just pointing that out. But you know, and pretty much this is all I wanted to like say. I really appreciate these guys. There's no point, you know. I just want to say that these are the bros, my day ones. I don't care. I met them like elementary school. These are their day ones. They literally supported my channel, watched the videos. Like us 3 was in a Discord call when we were just like reacting to one of my videos, you know. It was so funny and fun. But I just want to say I love you too, and of course I love all my friends, but I gotta shout out the best of my friends. Da, 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 dun 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 dun.